Welcome back to Girl Scouts Unfiltered GCNWI. And today we're going to be talking about relationships and everything to do with them, how to handle them, like how to deal with them, and like the different kinds of relationships. I saw this thing on TikTok actually, like literally this morning, which is like funny because like we're recording this, where it was like the seven like types of friends. And I thought that was like really interesting because like he kind of explained like how like not every single friend is like meant for the same purpose. And I just thought that was like interesting because I feel like I've been guilty of like trying to make every friend like the same kind of friend. And it's like in reality, like you have different kinds of friends. Like you have like sport friends or like school friends or like class friends. So I just thought that was like cool and interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like a lot of the times we try to put our friends in the same category when we need to like spread them out because there's different friends you have to go to for different things like advice or like talking about similarities. And we try to group all of our friends together when we need to have them apart in order to like for the friendships to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got home from my after school group. It's called Girls on the Rise, and it's just like basically like a girl group, and we all like get together and talk about different things. And our topic today was friendship, and that's exactly what we were talking about, like what Lourdes said. We all agreed that like it's important to have like different friends and mix it up because like sometimes it's just good to hear like different, like if you're talking about something, it's good to talk about it with different people to get different points of views and stuff. And I also think it's just healthy to just have like a variety of friends to go to for different things.
Yeah, because like not every friend's gonna like have the same like advice or like obviously like all my friends like are very different, I feel like, or like every like group of friend that I have. So it's like nice to like hear like different opinions or like even just like do different things with my friends. Like there's and I feel like that's not a bad thing because I feel like I always see things where it's like you should be this like the same way with all your friends. And like I feel like that's true, but at the same time it's like it's not bad to like bring out like different sides of yourself. Like I feel like with some of my friends, I'm like maybe a little louder, and like some of my friends, I'm like a little shyer, and it's I feel like that's like a good thing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you should be different with some of your friends because some you might be more or less comfortable with, and I feel like you shouldn't be the exact same person all the time because depending on some of the similarities you share, you're not always gonna act the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But do you guys think it's like, just like you personally, do you guys think it's hard for you guys to like make friends or like get to know people? Because I know for me, like, I don't know, like, I'm just like a shy person kind of. So, like, it takes me a while to like open up to people. But some people, like, I just like wish I was like able to, I don't know, like, not get along because I think I get along with everybody, but just like be able to conversate with people easier, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like yeah, like I feel like I'm like pretty loud, so like for me, it's not even like the initial like conversation is easy, like surface level. I think it's more like deeper. Like it's hard for me to like get to like that level of friendship where it's like we're talking about like maybe just like harder things to talk about. Like I feel like initially it's easy for me. It's like obviously when it's like light and it's like funny and you're just like joking around and you're like it's very surface level. But I feel like it's like harder like later, like in the friendship.
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of harder for me to do like the surface level stuff like you were talking about because I don't know. I feel like when I first meet people, I'm kind of awkward or shy. But then like after I'm with them for like a repeated amount of time, like my friends at school, they're easier. It was easier for me to get to know them because I'm with them every day. But if it's something like that happens once a week or once a month, it's kind of harder for me to make friends.
Yeah, definitely like situation friends or like just like like I guess like you guys like obviously like we all go to like really different schools, so it's like I don't think I would have crossed paths with you guys like any other way other than Girl Scouts. So like I definitely think that there's like situations where like it's easier to make friends, which is why I feel like like being a part of things is so important because genuinely like I think about some of my best friends and it's like other than like school friends, which like I'd be in school anyway, like activity friends, like I don't know, like I would have never met some of my closest friends if I wasn't in the activities that I was in.
Yeah, I think that like just me like being in school and then like joining other stuff is just like how I make most of my friends because like yeah, it's just because like I'm able to click with them and bond with them more because I know that we like both do this one thing. So obviously we both have interest in it. So I feel like that's what sparks like our initial conversation to like even begin to be friends. So like I kind of yeah, I just like that. I just like bonding with people over like same interests and stuff.
Hmm. And then it's like easier to hang out too because like obviously you can like meet people anywhere and like even on like the street you can meet people, but it's like how like easy is it for you to like hang out and like you know what I mean? But it's like if you're
Yeah.
in an activity, then it's like you kind of like are forced to hang out and then like that could like turn into like outside of the like activity like hangouts.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like when you're in ooh, I'm sorry. I feel like when you're in activities or programs outside of school, I feel like it's where they force you to do icebreakers or stuff to like bond, like games in general. I feel like it's easier to make friends because they're not really forcing a bond. They're just trying to like break the ice with the people. So it makes it kind of easier because things happen and then you things happen and you make relationships with those people.
I also think being like part of like teams is like important. Like it doesn't even have to be with sports. Like I just think like when you're like, because for me, like I play volleyball, so it's like those friends that I made, it's like that's such like a different bond that I'll have with like a school friend or like even like like any other friend is because like you have to like work together to like win, which is like I think is like a different type of bond and like that's just like a different type of friendship. I think like working together like with something or like to achieve something even like with like girl scouts like I feel like it's like we're all working together to make something happen so it's like a different like kind of friendship and like that will like make you closer just because you're working together for something.
Yeah, I think Girl Scouts is a really good example because, well, depending on the troop, because I know my troop, in the beginning of the year, we have a lot of like new people that join. So we always do like icebreakers. And in the beginning of the year, we go to like the park districts and we're outside. So we play a lot of outdoor games. And I just feel like it depends on your troop because some troops, they're really small. So it's sometimes harder, but also at the same time, if it is small, it's easier to make relationships because there's not that many people around you. So you're kind of like forced to talk to each other and become friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's how it is for like my troop. My troop's like kind of big. Well, I'm a Juliet now, but when I like was in a troop, like it was kind of big and like it was like new people every week and it was like hard to like get to know all of them. But like I feel like I made really good friends in Girl Scouts and it was like easy to get to know them, like especially like over time, like the years, like it was just like fun. And like what you were saying about like the icebreakers and stuff, like I don't even remember us like formally like introducing ourselves to each other. It's just like that's just why I also like meeting people in groups like that because I feel like it just comes some like naturally sometimes because like I don't even remember like how I made some of my Girl Scout friends, but like now they're just like close friends that like I know I'll keep like for a while.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's also like a thing where it's like not even just in Girl Scouts and like troops, it's like friend groups. Like I feel like there's always like this such not like pressure, but maybe just like this like it's like you need to have a lot of friends. But I feel like it's obviously it's good to have like a bunch of different types of friends, but also I feel like it's like quality like over quantity. And it's like I'd rather just have like a few good friends and just like a bunch of like people that like I kind of know or like I'm like friends with, but like not like like deeper. So I just feel like the like quantity, like what you guys were talking about with your troops, because I'm not a part of the troop, but it's like I don't know, like I just feel like quantity and like quality and friendship is like something that like I feel like is constantly like talked about and like I don't know, like you always see people with big groups and then you're like, oh, maybe my group should be bigger, but then it's like who knows what's going on inside the group.
Yeah, like today, like at the group thing I was telling you guys about, we were just talking about that. We said that it's better to have like quality over quantity when it comes to friends. Like a few good friends is better than just like a bunch of bad friends. And then like I feel like in middle school, like I would just try to like keep a lot of people around, like not for popularity, but like I guess I just like having friends, but then like once I got to high school, I just realized that like I really only have like three really close friends, but like and like I'm still cordial with a lot of people, but I really only have those three people that I tell like a lot of things to. And that also just like there's like no drama. I feel like in when I had like a lot of friends that tried to keep a lot of people in my circle, it was just, a lot going on. So I feel like that's also why I like having less.
Yeah, I also feel like if you're the person that like if you're an introvert, you probably wouldn't want a lot of people around you, like for certain mental health purposes. Like you said, there's a lot of drama and it can be really draining keeping up with texting this person or calling that person or just like speaking to them frequently enough for you to keep that relationship. I feel like it can be draining. And I feel like you shouldn't force yourself to like someone. You can still be cordial with them, like you said, but you don't have to treat them as if they're the person closest to you, like all your other friends.
Hmm. I have like a best friend. So like I feel like I've done that before where like I like because we don't go to the same school. So it's like when I got to high school and she's a year older than me. So when I got to high school, I did not try to like find a replacement for her, but I tried to like find like kind of like somebody like her, and like it just like ended up not really working because like at the end of the day it's like every friend has a different purpose, and like I like am so lucky to have like one like really good friend, and like although I can like find qualities of her in other people, like I'm not gonna like turn somebody into like what she is to me, you know what I mean? So it's like I because I feel like I've definitely tried to do that, like make somebody like a best friend or like make somebody a friend that they're not, like the type of friend that they're not.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do that. They try to find someone that they like and then they try to turn them into somebody new. I feel like you can hold the people around you to a certain standard, but you shouldn't try to change them into or shape them into a new person just to benefit you or to benefit yourself.
Yeah. Um, I saw the thing I was talking about with like the seven types of friends. I thought that was just really interesting. And like, I just thought like the variety was so different because like literally you can find like I even like even though it's like easier to do in like when you're like part of things, like part of like Girl Scouts or like part of like sports or clubs, like it's easier to make friends that way. Like literally like the types of friends can literally just be like people you say hi to. Like I feel like the word friend is like I don't know. Like I just feel like anybody could be like your friend basically. Like even if you see them like in a class and like you like talk a few words to them, like I feel like I would consider that like I don't know. I just feel like like who you could literally make anybody your friend, I feel, which I just think is so cool that like it could be anybody.
Yeah, and I like what you were saying where you can say anyone's your friend. I feel like a lot of people have different definitions of friends. Like a friend for someone could be somebody like that you see every day or talk to every day, but for somebody else it could be somebody that you have to know for a while for them to be considered your friend. So I feel like you should know the definition of the word friend for yourself because it's not going to be the same for everyone. Because like yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. Like I feel like I used to be like that. I feel like I used to be like, well, I feel like this person has to meet a lot of standards to be my friend. Not in like a rude way, but just in like, because if I just say hi to you in the hallway, like I wouldn't consider you my friend. Like I would say like we're associates, but I feel like now like I'm just like, hey friend, like even if we only talk like three times in the hallway, like next time I see you, like I'm just gonna call you my friend. Like I don't know. I just like talking to people for some reason. It's kind of, I don't know.
Agreed. Like I don't because I used to do or not like do that, but like in my head it's like, oh, they're not a friend if like I haven't hung out with them outside of like the thing that we're a part of together. Like especially like in school because like there's a lot of people in school that like I'm friends with where like I've never really hung out with them like one on one outside of school, like maybe in like in group settings or in like if there's like football games at my school, like I'll see them there obviously. But it's like not like one on one. And like I used to be like, oh, if I haven't hung out with them one on one outside of school, then I don't know. I just like I used to like not consider them a friend, but I just think it's like funny that like it literally it there's no standard basically.
Hmm. Yeah, I used to think the exact same thing too. Like, I would be like, or I think I separated them between like school friends and then outside of school friends. Cause like, I'm like, to be my outside of school friend, we have to do something, or I have to see you outside of school. And I think I still do that. But I think normally, like, I wouldn't have been like, I wouldn't just call up somebody I know from school and be like, oh, do you want to hang out? Because I would think that's kind of like odd. But like, if you're my friend, like, I can call you and be like, hey, like, what are you doing? But if I do that with somebody from school, that's going to be like, it's just not there yet. So I think that's how I like kind of separate my friends out.
Yeah, I feel like once I'm friends with someone for a certain amount of time, I feel like I try to hang out with them like outside of school, so that I don't know, because it just makes it seem more real to me. Because if I'm just seeing them every day at school, it just seems kind of forced. But if I'm seeing them outside of school, it seems less forced, and it seems like the relationship is genuine. And also, like when you see people like with their friends like outside of school all the time, it just feels like it seems weird when me and my friends aren't doing that.
Yeah, definitely like FOMO or like just like or like feeling I don't know. Like I feel like that's like a big thing is like even if you're like perfectly like happy, like I could be like home by myself and like I could be hanging out with people, but it's like it's Friday and like I'm always so tired on Fridays. So it's like I'm choosing not to do anything and like I'm content with that. And then as soon as I like see somebody else doing something, I'm like, oh my God, like should I be hanging out with people? It's just like I just have to work on that because it's like obviously it doesn't matter. And if like I'm happy with like staying home and like just like taking a break like from a week, like that's like fine. Even on a Saturday or Sunday, it's like you don't have to be with people all the time, which is definitely something that I feel like I've had to learn. So I can't remember specifically like what the seven types of friends were, but basically it was like this guy was like a little older. I think he was like outside of college. So he had like party friends, like where it's like, oh, like I only go out with these people. Like I can have a good time with this friend. Or it's like I have a friend where it's like a one-on-one friend where it's like, oh, like we only hang out one-on-one. Like they're just not the best in social settings or like group settings. Like if you want to like if you are going to an event and it's like bring a friend, like you're not going to bring this friend, then it's not because you don't like this friend or you don't want to like meet this friend or like have your other friends meet this friend. It's more just like it's maybe they're just like not the best meeting people or it's like like it's just every friend like has a different purpose. And I just thought that was so interesting because I think like I see a lot of my friends in different ways. Like I just feel like different friends are good for different things.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to like put their friends in certain categories. Like and I feel like you need to communicate, because you can have like a friend where you say you shouldn't invite them somewhere because you don't think they'll like it. But I feel like once that friend sees you like hanging out with the rest of your friends, or sees some that you all did something together and then they were the only one not there, it could turn into a miscommunication. But you could have just asked them if they would have liked to come, and they could have said yeah. And then if they ended up not liking it, then next time to not do that. But I feel like sometimes we just think that we're in the right when we could be in the wrong.
Yeah. That kind of makes me think like for my birthday party, like I wanted to have like a birthday dinner, and like I think like I'm like really I have like three different friend groups kind of, and I like of course like I don't want to leave any of my friends out, but at the same time like I don't want my dinner to be awkward because like you guys all don't know each other. But then like I think if I had the mindset like what you just said, Lourdes, like knowing that like if leaving someone out, like if I knew that that would have made them feel some type of way, I feel like I would have gone about like the situation like a lot different, because like even though I know my intentions and my intentions weren't to hurt your feelings, my like I just wanted to, you know, have a good birthday dinner. But at the end of the day, I feel like when having friends, you have to know and like understand and take accountability for like what you do, even though like you may not feel like you're wrong, like you don't know how that made the other person feel.
Yeah, I think that's also why like communication is really important in order to keep a relationship going. Because if you're just going without communicating your feelings, like if someone is doing something towards you repeatedly and you don't like it, but you're not saying anything, that person isn't gonna know that what they're doing is wrong. And it's just gonna keep on going and building up. And you're gonna then once it all explodes, you're just gonna use everything like that against them, but they're not going to know that what they were doing was wrong because you never told them.
Mm-hmm. It's like built up resentment for sure. And then like and then you don't like give the person time to like fix it. Like, because obviously if you tell the person something like that is wrong and that like you feel is like maybe annoying or it's like it's just hurting you, and like you give them time to fix it and they don't fix it, like then that's like I feel like that's okay to obviously end it because they don't respect like what you're saying. But then at the same time, it's like if you don't tell them and you let it build up to the point where like you just resent them so much and you like don't like give them time to fix it, like I feel like you're kind of in the wrong because unless you don't want to be friends with them, like I just feel like I would want to like I would personally, because if I was the person like that like was being annoying, maybe like I would want to fix it. So it's like I feel like you have to give people time to fix it because I think what ends up happening is just built up resentment is built up and then like you don't give the person time to like fix what they could have fixed, you know, and because you're just so done with them, like you're so, even though they had no idea like they were doing anything wrong. um Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for our next episode.